Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my second day of Declutter week. I do have my base products today, so my foundations, concealers, powders, things like that, as well as bronzers, highlighters, and blushes. And as you can see, we have a lot of products to get through. We have in this section kind of all my blushes and highlighters and things like that, and over here we have more kind of base products. So I'm excited to go through all of these. I don't know how much I'm going to get rid of, especially of my base products. When it comes to highlighters and blushes, I think I might get rid of like a little bit more, especially blushes, because I have so many blushes in my collection. But even if I don't get rid of too much, this is a good insight into my collection to see what I own and things like that. And I will also go through this to see a couple products that I want to pan next year. So I will pick out like my to pan products, things like that. So if you're excited to see the second day of Declutter week, just stay tuned. But before I jump into the video, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So here we have the first category, which you can see I don't have too much left of anymore. These are my primers. I feel like I should have more than this, but I think I used up a lot of my primers, so you know that's good, and I can probably start investing in a few more next year. But let's go through these all together. First up, we have these two here, which are the same product. We have the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. We have a mini and a full-size one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep both of these. I love this one. I have already finished like a medium size of this product, so yeah, I'm gonna keep both of them and start using them hopefully next year. We also have the Hydro Grip Primer from Milk. This one has already been used quite a lot. It's already up here. This is just a mini size, and I really do like this product. I want to finish this one up and then purchase the full size because I think this is really good. I think, to be honest, having this and then this as my two products, so this one as like a hydrating one, this one is a more long-lasting primer, should do me really for primers, because I feel like those two work really well. And then the last one for like the proper primer, we have this one here, which is my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is also like a hydrating primer. I got this last year, I think in advent calendar, so it's about a year old now, but I haven't opened it yet. I do think this one is sealed, right? Yeah. This one is still sealed, but I do think this is one that I want to put into my pan pile for next year, because again, I do feel like I found two primers that work really well for me, so I can get rid of everything else. So I will pan this one next year. Then I also have these two samples, which I can pan as well easily. We have the Huda Beauty Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base, as well as this one here, which I just realized now is finished. Why am I keeping this one around? It's already been used. So yeah, this one can go into my trash. But then yeah, we have two kind of sprays. I wanted to include this here too. I don't have too many setting sprays, but I do want to maybe buy some more next year. So these two here, I do want to keep. I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist, which I don't have too much left of. I have about this much. This one I probably also want to put in my two pan pile, so I can go in there. Then we have the Omorovicza Queen of Hungary Mist. I think this might be like a skincare kind of product, but I use it as well for like a refresher spray. But yeah, I'm going to keep this one too. So obviously not too many things declared from primers, but again, I don't have too many things there. Another thing, to be fair though, that might go into this category is this one here, which is my Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in the shade 3. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one too. I love this product. It's more of like a kind of base, I guess, but it's like a hybrid between a foundation and a primer, I would say. So I don't really know what to put this, but I'm going to keep this one. Next up, we have my foundations. I think this is all my foundations. I'm again running quite low on them. I don't have too many left in my collection. But yeah, these are the ones that I have. First up, a couple here are like a more deeper foundation for me, especially like these two, especially this one here. And this one is also my summer one. This is my winter shade. But I love the face and body, so I'm going to keep both of these. I love them. This is the shade C3 and C1. I can mix these to make a perfect shade, and I love this foundation a lot, so I'm going to keep this one around. Again, to be fair, I'm not thinking really that I want to declutter any of these, because again, I don't have too many. But I love the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. It's a little bit of a deeper shade, so I don't know if I can wear this one really in winter. You know, actually, it's not too deep. I might play around with this one in winter too, but I love this one. I recently tried this one out and it's a good one. It's the shade Natural 5. Yeah, gonna keep this one around too. Another one that I really love is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Mine is in the shade 3. Yeah, this one I'm going to keep as well. I love this one, especially when I want to go for a bit more of a full cover foundation. Then we have these two. This one here, like I said, is quite deep. You can see the color here for it. But it's also like a tinted kind of product. This is the Monoskin Perfecting Tint SPF 15 Medium. I think I'm going to keep this around and use this next summer. I have been panning like a really deep foundation this year. So I think this one might be the next one that I try to pan that way. So I don't know if I will pan the whole thing next year. But yeah, I will keep it around for now. It's almost full. It's like airless pump and it's all the way down here. So I will keep this down. I'm not going to put it in my to pan pile because I don't know if I can get through it in 1 year. So I'm going to put this in to keep. However, this one here is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in the shade, what shade is this? Porcelain Beige. And this one is one that I have had in the past and panned. And I think this is another one that I feel like I can pan next year. So this one is going to go into my pan pile. Then we have these kind of more sample products. We have some, what are these? Make It Forever foundations in 4 shades. We have Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. And then we have the Magic foundation as well from Charlotte Tilbury. All of these I'm going into like to pan. I don't know if I'm going to put them into project, but I do want to get through these next year. And the dark shades I can use as bronzes and stuff, but the least lighter shades I can for sure use. So yeah, these are going to be panned. Same as this one here, which is the BCD Bcidation. I don't know. It looks like a foundation. It doesn't really say what it is, but I'm going to try it out and just use it up. Another one that I found a sample is the Luminous Goddess Aura BB Cream from Tony Moly. Gonna finish this one as well next year. Here we have my concealers and my correctors. This is a little bit of a bigger category, but it's not too large. But I'm gonna go through them. So first up we have this one here, which is my Becca Under Eye Corrector. This is the one I'm currently using, and then we'll have 2 backups. I love this product and I can't get it anymore, so I'm gonna keep all of these and try to go through them. I think this one I'm going to put into my pan pile for next year, and these 2 are going to be the backups. Then we have this white concealer, which I use a lot to mix, as well as like an eyeshadow base sometimes if I want a white base. Also, it's good for Halloween, things like that. So I'm going to use this one until I finish it up eventually, but I'm going to hold on to this one. This one here is a really deep foundation. I got this one as a hand-me-down. This is the Born This Way concealer from, what are they called? Too Faced. But yeah, it's quite a deep shade. I haven't actually played around with it yet. It's, as you can see, it's deeper than my skin tone. But I think this one might work next summer, so I'm gonna keep this around and play with it and maybe use it more as a kind of bronzer if I can't use it as concealer, because I'm really excited to try this formula. If it's way too dark, I will declare it next year, but I want to play around with more first. And this is the shade Taffy, by the way. This is my go-to like handbag concealer, which I really like. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. This one is almost finished. So I think I'm just going to keep this one in my handbag, and then, yeah, when it's gone, but I'm not going to put it into like a to pan pile necessarily. You know, actually, I might. I'm going to put this into pan like for the whole year. Maybe I won't put it into project, but I do want to get it out next year, so I'm going to put this one into my to pan pile too. We have this one here, which is the Instant Anti-Age Eraser from Maybelline in the shade Sand. This is another one. This is brand new. It hasn't been touched yet, as you can see. But this is one that I think I should be able to pan next year too, so I'm going to put this one into my to pan pile. Then we have these 2 concealers here. This one is my winter shade, which is one that I really like. This is the Stay Naked concealer from Urban Decay. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's getting a bit lower, but it's my go-to right now when I'm pale, so I'm going to keep this one. And then this one here I really like too, which is the NARS concealer. This is the creamy, what are they called? The creamy, Radiant Creamy Concealer, it says on the back. And this is the shade Creme Brulee. I'm going to keep both of these as well. I'm not going to put them into my pan pile. I think I'm going to use them more organically. So here we have all of my powders. Again, not an out of control category. I feel like my base products have gotten quite small in the last couple of years because I have used up a lot of things. So yeah, let's go through these. This one here is my go-to everyday powder, which is the Hourglass Loose Setting Powder. Yeah, this is translucent one. I love this one. I'm obviously gonna finish this one up. I'm not gonna put it into the Pam project, I think, because I use this one every day anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. I also love this product here, which is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder and Light. Like I said, I love this product. I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. And then this here is actually the same product, but this is the shade Medium. I'm currently using this one. I think this is one that I probably want to pan next year because I have to press it in a different packaging because it broke. And also, this packaging is broken, but I'm going to put this one into my to pan pile for next year. Then we have these ones here, which are all slightly too deep for me as like a winter powder, but let's go through them. This one here is my LYS powder. This is in the shade Brilliance. This is the Triple Fix powder. This is like a banana powder, which is yellow. It's not super deep. I mean, it is a bit deep for me, but I think this one would work really well in winter, and I want to play around with this one more. But this is definitely one that I think is on the chopping block, and I might repurchase a lighter shade of this, because it's just not like, it's just a little bit too deep for me, but I want to play around with it to see if it's a formula that I love, but it is on the shopping block for next year. Then we have this one here, which I am so grateful for. This is a powder I got for my boyfriend for Christmas one year. This is Chanel Powder Universal Compact in the shade 40 Door. I don't know how to say that, translucent. It's definitely not translucent, it's definitely quite deep. You can see it there. It's definitely too deep for me, and I love this one, but it's definitely one that I don't get as much use out of. I only use it a couple of months of the year because it is too deep, but it's a nice undertone, and I think this one might be nice as like a light bronzer or as like a blending out powder. So I think this one is going to go into my pan palette for next year to finish up, because it's one that I do want to get out of my collection because it is too deep, and I think this compact will be nice as well to keep as a repressing compact once I have finished it up. Then we have these two here. This is the Kosas Cloud Set Powder in the shade Comfy. Again, this one is, God, this is so hard to open all the time. This is a little bit too deep for me still. It's not the worst, though. This is definitely one that is a little bit better for me. Yeah, it's definitely the one that slides out of all of these, I think. So I'm going to hold on to this one. I like this one. I set my face with it at the moment. It is not super deep, so I'm going to keep playing around with it. I like this formula as well. And I want to see if this is one that I want to repurchase in lighter shade. Again, this is a product that I got from my friend, so it is a little bit deep for me, but it's fine. This one is definitely one that works better. Then we have my Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Light Medium. This one is definitely quite deep, if I remember correctly. Actually, you know what? It's not showing up mega deep. I always saw this one as a super deep powder, but looking at it now, it's not that deep. It's a little bit deep for me, but I think this is one that I can definitely play around with. I think this is the one that I'm also going to put into my pan pile for next year, because it's just taking up a lot of space, and I want to figure out if it's too deep or not. If it's too deep, I think I'm going to declutter it, but I want to play around with it more first. So those were all of my base products. Next up, we're going to move into my highlighters, bronzers, and blushes. So let's do that next. So first up, we have my face palettes. These are all my face palettes. I don't have too many in my collection, considering I didn't have, like, consider I only had this one about a year or two ago. You know, it's a big increase, but that's fine by me. Again, I didn't have too many face palettes, so let's go through these in orders. Let's start with my oldest one first. This is my sleek highlighting palette in Solstice. It's an oldie but a goodie. I have one shade pan. I have pan in 2 shades, and then I have, yeah, so you can see 3 shades left. I think this is actually one that I'm finally going to put into my pan pile for next year. It's only highlighters in here, but I think I should be able to get through them. At least I can pan a couple of shades in here, maybe 1 or 2, but I do want to put this one in my pan pile. Other than that, I don't think there's anything necessarily that I do want to get rid of. Let's just open them up. We have the Hyper Real Glow from MAC. It looks like this. That's the first one. Then we also have my MAC highlighting palette. This is the Flashing Eyes Extra Dimension Skin Finish Trio in Light. It looks like this. I have my NARS Orgasm palette. This is the Orgasm on the Beach palette. And this one looks like this. Then we have two Hourglass palettes. We have this one here, which is the Ghost, Lightning Ghost Edit. And my newest one, which is this one here, which is the Sculpture palette. And then finally for my face palettes, we have this one here, which is the Chic Star Reunion Tour palette from Benefit. Looks like this. I'm going to keep all of these. However, I'm not going to tell you which one yet, but one of those palettes will most likely go into a Panda face palette next year. Obviously on top of the Sleek palette. This one is going to go into like my regular product pan, but I do want to put one of those other palettes into like a face palette, to like a Panda face palette project. So those are my face palettes. Nothing too exciting there, but I wasn't expecting to get rid of anything in that category. So I think these here are all my bronzers. Out of these, again, I don't think I'm going to get rid of anything because I don't have too much, and I think I can pan these easily. First up, we have my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which is actually one that I do want to pan, so this one's going to go into my to pan pile. As you've seen this Declutter, this actually might already be in my year-long project pan, but I don't foresee myself finishing this one this year, so it's going to continue being my to pan pile for next year. Then we have this one, which is one that I've been recently using a lot, which is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Matte Bronzer. This one looks like this. It's in the shade... Does it have a shade name? No, it does not. No, I don't think it has a shade name. This one, like I said, I've been using quite a lot, and I think this is another one that I can probably pan next year when I finish up the Physicians Formula. I like this bronzer, but it's not my absolute favorite, so this one again can go into my to pan pile next year. I only have one contour powder, which I honestly never really use. This one looks like this. It's from Kevyn Aucoin. It's the Sculptor Powder in Light. I do want to hold on to it for now, but yeah, I never really used this one. I know I don't contour very often, but yeah, I'm going to hold on to it for now. See if I use it at all next year, otherwise it can go next year. We have these bronzers left. This one is the LYS bronzer. This is the No Limits Matte Bronzer in Motivate Light. This one looks like this. I like this one. I'm going to hold on to this one for now. It's probably one that I also want to pan eventually. But obviously I already have two bronzers in my pan pile, so I want to hold on to this one and leave it for a later date. This one is my Milk Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked, the classic. This one is an older one because it is in the larger packaging, but I do like this one a lot. And I haven't gotten too much use out of it. I think this is one that I'm going to play around with next year, and then after that I might need to replace it because of the age. I got this again as a hand-me-down from my friend Martina, so I know this one is also like a bit old because she had it before, but I don't think it's a problem. I'm going to use it next year, and if I see the formula changing at all, I'm going to declutter it. But again, this is probably one that I'm going to replace at some point. Two bronzers left. This one here is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Bronzer, whatever it's called, in Light. This one is a very, very light bronzer, as you can see, but I do want to hold on to this one. I actually do want to get this bronzer in medium as well, and I can like, because I don't have the compact at the moment, I only have this pan, which I keep in my like single palettes. But I do want to get the compact so I can like alternate depending on where I'm in the year, but for now I'm going to hold on to this bronzer. And then lastly, we have the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer, which looks like this. It's more of a red tone bronzer. I love this one, especially in summer, so I'm going to hold on to this one too. So next up we have highlighters, and these here are my highlighters. You can see I have quite a few. It's definitely when it's starting to get a little bit out of control. Again, I have all of these as well as like my blushes. Those two categories are like the ones that are a bit more out of control. And so far I haven't gotten rid of anything, so I think this is kind of where it's going to start to happen. Because again, you can see I have a lot. Let's start with these kind of more special highlighters, which are a bit more kind of unique and colorful. First up, we have the Space Age Prophecy from Kaleidos. I love this one. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. It's like a shifting shade from peach to green, but it's like a really, really wearable one, and I love this one a lot, so I'm going to hold on to this one. The Gifted one is my newest one that I purchased, which is the another multichrome highlighter. This is more of a pink toned one. I haven't played around with this one too much, but it is another beautiful one. It's again like a pink to green kind of shifting one. Beautiful, beautiful shade, but yeah, I do want to hold on to this one too. Then we have Moon Cruiser, which is a blue leaning highlighter. Yeah, this is like a blue highlighter basically. I love this one too. I love the Space Age Prophecy highlighters. Oh, sorry, the Space Age highlighters. The Prophecy one is like a multiple one, but this one is like again the Moon Cruiser one. Love this one too. Gonna hold on to that one. Same with Solar Sailor. This is another one that's a bit more shifty. This is like a yellow leaning highlighter. Beautiful one as well. A golden one, kind of works really well in summer. Then we have the last two, which I got from my friend Martina. We have the Mars Melter one, which is also shifting, but it's not like as intense. This is like a pink leaning one, but it's like more subtle. You can see it hopefully there. I like this one too. I'm going to hold on to that one. By the way, this is the older version of Mars Melter. They now have a newer version of this one, but that is the older one. And then we have the Ray Rider, which is more of a neutral toned highlighter. This is not like shifting or anything. It's more like a regular highlighter. I'm going to wait with this one. I don't know what I want to do with this one yet, so I'm going to hold on to this one in this pile. But also kind of the more special ones. I guess lastly on that kind of sense, we have this one here, which is MAC Show Gold. This is another shifty highlighter. It's like a pink to peach kind of highlighter. It's nice. Let me compare it. Okay, so there we have those two compared. They're definitely different. This is definitely a bit more cool tone. This is a bit more warm tone pink. Don't need them both. Probably not, but I'm not ready to let go of the MAC one. It's a really stunning one. Yeah, I'm not ready to let go of it yet. So I'm going to keep it for now. Okay, so let's move on to some things that I know I'm going to declutter. This one here, I'm going to declutter. This is the About Face highlighting stick. It's the Light Lock stick in Frenzy. It's a beautiful product. It's like a glitter stick basically. It is a highlighting stick, but it just basically sparkles. I like this when I used it, especially like, I don't know, as a top of eyeshadow, things like that, and also as like a in video highlighter, but it's just so sparkly that I won't use it. I thought it would be fun to hold on to for like festivals and stuff like that, but I don't go to them enough that it's worth holding on to, so I'm going to declutter this highlighter. One that I'm going to put into my Japan palette is this one here, which is the The Impossible Glow. This is the highlighting drops, and I don't know if this is, yeah, this is the Shane Champagne. I'm going to put this one into my Japan palette. I think I can use this one as a liquid highlighter and as a base, so yeah, Japan. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is actually another one that's more of a fun, colorful highlighter. This is from Cliona. This is the shade Tropico. This is from their Dragon Fruit collection. It's a multichrome highlighter. Looks like this. It's beautiful. This one though is more of it's a little bit more colorful, but it's like a gold to pink highlighter. Absolutely beautiful. Again, I want to compare it because I mean I know this one is more pink leaning. Yeah, they're not the same at all, are they? This MAC one is really getting to me if I should keep it or not, but I do think I want to hold on to this one for now at least and want to play around with it more. So let's see. Next up we have more kind of regular highlighters now. Let's go through them. We have the shade Champagne Pop from Becca. We have the shade Moonstone from Becca. Haven't reached for that one too much. We have Ray Rider, which I already covered. Then we have Laura Mercier. This is the Highlight 01 Baked highlighter. Then we have the Rare Beauty, which is my newest highlighter. Looks like this. This is the shade Accelerate. And then we have this stick here, which is more of a white kind of. It's a very, very pale highlighter. It's like, again, a stick. So that one I think is the palest. Then we have probably the Moonstone one, which looks like this. Beautiful one. Then we probably have the Highlight 01 from Laura Mercier. Beautiful product. I love this one. It's so like effortless. Then let's just watch the rest. We have that one again. And then lastly we have this Rare Beauty one. The Rare Beauty one is definitely the most reflective. I love them. I don't think I need all of them, so I think maybe I need to like start panning a couple. I'm gonna hold on to, I haven't swatched the Champagne Pop, sorry. Champagne Pop looks like that. I'm going to hold on to Champagne Pop. I love that one. I'm also going to hold on to Rare Beauty one. Love that one too. That's those two here. So those two are going to stay. With these three, I'm not sure if I'm ready to declutter any of them. I think I'm going to pan one of them, or you know, we'll see. Which one do I think I'm more ready to pan? I think this one, maybe the Ray Rider one. I think that one would be more feasible to pan because these two have a lot of product. This one is basically untouched and it has 8 grams of product, which is a lot. And I've been panning a highlighter this whole year and the year before, which took forever to finish up. So I don't want to be in the same boat again. This one here I have used quite a bit, but it's still a big highlighter. This is 7.5 grams altogether. And then this one here, does it say on the back? It does not say on the back, but I know this one for a fact is way smaller. So this one is more feasible to pan. It's also nice like everyday shade as well. It's this one here. So yeah, I'm going to put the Ray Rider into the pan and hold on to these two for now. Then lastly, we have this highlighting stick here, which I need to decide what to do with. This is the Rowan highlighting stick in the shade Glazed. It's very brand new. It's not been in my collection for a long time, and it's actually going to be like the only cream highlighter I have left after this declutter and like the padding and stuff. So maybe I will hold on to it for now because it is the only one that I have. So honestly, again, not the biggest category. I'm only getting rid of one product, but again, like I said, I don't expect this to be like the most decluttered video because yeah, I don't have too many out of control things in this category. Again, highlighters us a lot. I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting rid of 1 and putting like 2 into my tip pan pile. Plus the highlighting palette, which has 3 highlighters. So, I mean, that's actually a lot of highlighters to finish in a year. I think the Ray Rider one is probably lowest down on the list. I just realized that I'm also putting in this highlighting palette, which has 3 highlighters in it. But Ray Rider is probably furthest down on the list to finish. But if I can, I'm going to go through this one too next year. So, last up we have my blushes. As you can see, this is my biggest category. I have them all right here. I need to downsize this collection because I have too many blushes. I love all of these. And I did do a blush declutter earlier this year, I think. Or I got rid of quite a few. So these are like my top favorites. But I just have too many blushes. And I can only go through like 2, maybe 3 a year max. So this is going to last me way too long if I keep all of these. So I'm going to try to get rid of a couple more of these in today's video and downsize this because this is one of the categories in my collection that is out of control. So yeah, this is next up. Well, I'm going to take them all out, sort them out by color, and then start swatching out. But before I do that though, we have this highlighter again, which is the Show Gold highlighter from MAC. I have actually decided to eventually declare this one because I just don't reach for it enough. It is absolutely stunning. You can see it right there. However, in this face palette also from MAC, we have this shade here, which isn't exactly the same, but it's a similar kind of color, like slightly less pink though. But yeah, I feel like they're all kind of similar. I don't know, maybe not that similar, but I just don't reach for this one enough. So I think I'm ready to let this one go, and I can just keep this one in here. And that means I got rid of 2 highlighters altogether. So here we have all my blushes. It's quite a few, as you can see. It's a lot of same. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of overlapping colors here, and that's kind of why I feel like I need to get rid of a couple. But let's just go through them. So I'm going to start by kind of organizing these by colors, and then we can start swatching out. So I'm going to start by like bright pinks, which I actually don't have too many left of. I only have these 2 right here, so those can go into one category. Then I'm going to do more kind of plummy tones like this here, and like this, I guess, is similar. So those can go same as this one. And this color, I think those 4 can go into one category. I don't really have anything similar to this color, but I'm going to pair it into like these kind of more corally tones. I guess this one can go there as well. and these two are similar as well. Yeah, I think all of these can go into one. All of these are very same, but let's do like more kind of neutral tone blushes, like this one, this one here. These aren't going to be perfectly the same, but like this one, and then this one, and this, I think all of those in the same category. Then let's do more kind of, I guess, let's look at what's left. You know, this one here can also go in the same category there. And then these are all kind of peachy and pinky blushes, like this one can probably go with this one. I might even put these into like the more pink category, like as a subcategory. And then this one and this one can go together, and I think these four are one category as well. And then this one here, which I stubbed my nail into, is like, it's also kind of like corally. I'm going to put that in the coral category. I don't know, this one is very unique. Actually, I'm going to keep this by itself. So let's just start swatching out. So I guess let's start with all of the pinkier blushes. Let me zoom in a bit as well. So we have this Clinique blush in Plum Pop. And then we have the Sleek blush in Pixie Pink, right? Yes, Pixie Pink. Those two are like the most similar out of those colors. And then we have these more kind of slightly like corally pinks. We have this one, which is Deep Throat, which the packaging is broken off. Yeah, these ones aren't the same at all, are they? But let's just keep it here anyway. Then we have Frat Boy and NARS Orgasm. So these are the swatches, these 5 right here. I think out of these, nothing's really exact. I mean, these two are quite similar, but I only have these two as pink blushes. Because I've been panning a pink blush like this, and I do actually quite like pink blushes like that. However, I just never reach for this one here. Maybe I should just keep this as a pink option. This one is sheeny though, this one is more matte. I'm going to definitely hold on to the Clinique one. I love that blush. But with this one here, I'm going to put this one into my maybe haul for now. The Deep Throat blush, I really do like this one, but again, the packaging is broken. However, I do think maybe I want to pan this one next year to get out of my collection. It's probably going to be quite a big feat because it is 4.8 grams in here, but I think I want to put the one in my to pan pile. That is this one here. And then these two, you know what? I don't really like the Orgasm blush very much, so I'm going to declutter this one here. And then instead of keeping that one, I'm going to keep this one here, which is a mini. This is actually also the Orgasm blush, but it's a mini. Yes, I know it's the same shade. I haven't even used this one yet. Let me get it out of the packaging. But it's very, very small. It doesn't have a mirror, but it's very small. And I think this one would be good if I do want that blush color, and it's also good for traveling. So I'm going to hold on to this one instead of the big Orgasm blush. And then, yeah, so that's one decluttered. And then for Frat Boy, I'm going to hold on to that one because I like it too. Next up, let's do these kind of mauvier tones. We have the Pat McGrath Divine Rose blush, which looks like this. This is the newest out of my mauvier tone blushes. And there we have that one. Then we have this Max Factor one, which is similar kind of concept. It's a little bit more pigmented though, but very, very similar in tone. We have this one here, which is from NARS. Again, it's another mini blush in the shade Go. Yeah, small one. The funny thing is, actually, I looked this one up earlier because I thought, oh, maybe I can pan this one. That was like my mindset. But I looked this one up, and this one has 4 grams of product, whereas a full-size NARS blush has 4.8. So they're almost the same, although this one is a mini, but that is this one here. And lastly, we have a cream blush, which I think isn't that too similar. This one is definitely more brownie. Maybe this one should have gone into the natural category instead. Yeah, I think I'm going to move this one over to the natural category. So I'm looking at these 3 here. Obviously, they're all kind of similar. I'm going to hold on to the Divine Rose blush because I like that one. And I think I'm actually going to get rid of the mini NARS blush. I was thinking about panning this one, but realizing how much product is in here, I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to put this one into my to pan pal. I don't know if I will get to this one next year, but I will put it into my to pan pal anyway, which is that middle blush. And declutter this one. So 1 declutter, 1 keep, and 1 to pan. So next, let's do these more kind of corally blushes right here. We have a few. We have this one first, which is from Clinique again. This is one of their pop blushes in Peach Pop. A little bit more of a vibrant shade right there. That is the first one. Then we have, which one should we do next? Let's do this one next, which is the California, what's it called? What's this one? Which is the California blush from Benefit. Very similar kind of type of product. This one is definitely a bit more orange leaning, whereas that one is a little bit more pink undertoned. But that's those two there. Then we have the Bloom blush from Natasha Denona. Looks like this. This one is definitely glowier, but very similar to the California blush, is glowier. We have this sleek blush here, which is the shade Lives of Peach, which I remember liking a lot. It's a little bit more orangey than the other ones. Then let's do the Taj Mahal. What's that what it's called? Yeah. The Taj Mahal blush, which is definitely a lot more orangey than the other ones. Which looks like that. Then we have the shade Gina, again from NARS. And lastly, we have this one, which is from Melt, and this is the Cali Dream blush, which is a cream blush. So there we have those. I know there's a lot of similarities here, but I do like all of them. I know I like this one for a fact, which is this here. I love the Gina blush from NARS. This one is like a cream version of that. I think I'm going to keep both of those for sure. I'm going to also keep the Taj Mahal blush. It's very unique, so I'm keeping these 3 for now. Then this is when it starts to get complicated, because I like this blush a lot, which is this blush here, but it's also quite similar to this one. And I feel like all of these are very similar as well. I know I like this one. I've been playing around with it recently, the Bloom blush from Natasha Denona. So I'm going to keep this one too, because again, I know I like that one. Which is this one here, which is the glowier blush. Then we have like these two, which they are similar, but this one is definitely a bit more pinky undertone, is a bit more orange. Do I need them both though? Probably not. I feel like this is the one I don't need, but I like it. I'm going to put this one in my Maybe pile as well. And then for these two, we have, let's see, these two actually here. This one is a bit more pink. I like this formula a lot, which is why I'm thinking about holding on to it. The Peach Pop blush is very buildable. I like it a lot. So I think I'm going to hold on to that one for now. And then California, I'm going to hold on to as well. Do I? Yeah, I do want to hold on to this one as well. Okay, next up we have these more corally blushes. We have this one from Colourpop. This is the Desert Rose blush. Yeah, it's one of their pressed blushes. This one is definitely quite pale. Then we have this one here, which is from Milani. This is the Luminoso blush. It's a classic. Also another very light blush. We have this Cover FX Duo. It looks like this. We have the matte one, which I'm going to swatch first. And then we have the more kind of shimmery, glowy one next to it. This one is definitely a bit more pink than I thought, but yeah, that's this one here. Then we have this one here, which is from Bobbi Brown. This is the Shimmer Brick Compact in Nectar. I always remember this one is very similar to the Luminoso blush, which they are. This one is just a bit more glowy. But yeah, that's that one. And then just for funsies, we're going to do this one too, which is like a single compact, which is honestly more like a highlighter. You know what? I'm actually going to move this out of my blushes and maybe put it into my highlighter. I want to play around with this as a highlighter, otherwise it can go. So this one is going into my Maybe pile, because this is not really a blush for me. Then we have this one, which is my Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand in the shade Peach Gasm, which looks like, let me swatch it, which looks like that. Very beautiful color. I like it already swatched here, by the way, but this one here. And I think those are the ones that are similar in this category. And honestly, I like this duo, these two here. I'm going to hold on to that because I know I like this formula. Which are these two? These two, oh, it's so hard. I feel like these two are very similar. This one is a bit more glowy, like I said, this one is not. I'm going to compare this one here to my MAC, what's this one called? Fairly Precious, which is one of their extra mention finishes. I really like this one. It's here. This one is definitely a bit more pink, but I love this formula and I love that kind of color. So maybe I want to hold on to this one as more of a pinker option for that. And I'm going to get rid of the Milani blush. This one is also very old, and it's also one that is a dupe for something I've panned this year, which is the Coralista blush. And although I like that, it's not my absolute favorite, so I think it's time to let go of the Luminoso blush from Milani. And that means I'm going to hold on to the last two, which is this one here and this one here. Oh, I forgot to say as well, I'm going to hold on to the Charlotte Tilbury Peach Gasm as well. So next up we have these two here, which are like the more kind of pale colors. This one here is from Max Factor. Again, this is the shade Lovely Pink. Beautiful color, quite pale pink. It's there. I don't know how much you will see it because I'm quite blushed now after all of the swatches. Let me try to swatch it on my other hand. But yeah, you can see it there. It's a very, very pale shade. I like this one a lot. Actually, I might put this one into my pan pile as well, together with the other Max Factor blush. I think these two will be quite easy to get through, so those can go into my pan. And then we have this one here, which is another really pale blush shade. And you know what? This is actually also like a highlighter. I think I'm going to move this one even to my highlighter collection too. So I want to play around with this one, and if I like it as a highlighter, I'm going to keep it. Otherwise, I'm going to declutter this one too. So last up, we have the more kind of natural blushes category, which are these here. Quite a large collection, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and swatch all of these out as well to see what they look like. This first one here is very, very pale. That's from Physician Formula. This is the body blush in the shade Plum Blush. A very, very pale shade. Then let's do... what do I want to do next? Declutter maybe? This one is definitely more warm tone. I love this blush. I know that I do. So that's Declutter. And I think next to that, we're going to do this blush here, which is from Nabla, and this is the shade Independence. I want to see how similar they are. Okay, this one is definitely deeper and a bit more plummier toned. Next to that, we also have Luster, which is this one here, another one that I love. Let's do this one, MAC, another one that I really, really enjoy. You can see I hit pan on this one, and it's one of my favorites, especially in summer. We have Gold Rush next, which is there. Actually quite similar to this one, it's less shimmery. We have the blush from Becca in Honey, Wild Honey, sorry, which I'm going to swatch here. And then lastly, we have that LYS blush again, which I re-swatched because I didn't feel like it fit into the other category. And, you know, it's actually, yeah, it fits better in here, I think. So those are these swatches. I'm not sure how much of these I want to get rid of. This one here honestly doesn't show up very much on my skin. Yeah, it's not like the best color for me, so I think I'm going to get rid of this one. I think I could have used it maybe as a blending out blush, but I never do, so I'm going to get rid of this one, which is that first one. Other than that, I don't really think I'm going to get rid of any of these. These are my kind of favorite type of blushes. I love, like I said, I love Declutter, I love the Nabla one, I love the Luster one. These two might look a bit similar, but this one is definitely a bit more orangey tone. This one is a bit more kind of mauve based. And this one, like I said, is the mauve one. And these two are actually quite similar. This one is a little bit more kind of reddish on the tone, but I love this one. I use it a lot in summer, so this one is going to stay. Same as these three. And then for the matte blush, which is this one here. I love this one. It's a beautiful glowy blush. So let's go through the maybe pile before we wrap up. We have 4 in here. First up, we have these two, which I'm thinking I'm going to consider as highlighters. I'm going to play around with them. First, this one, which is more of a peachy one. That's the shade First Date from Sydney Grace. And then we have this one from NARS, which is more of a pinkier toned one. And that is the shade Free Soul from NARS. So those two I'm going to consider as highlighters and play around with as highlighters and see if I want to keep or not. Then we have these two right here. Let's look at them again. We have this hot pink one, and then we have this more orangey one. Both of them are from Sleek. This one is Pixie Pink. This one is Lives at Peach. These two are really nice, bright blushes. Do I want to keep them? You know, they're very fun. And I don't really have anything super bright like that. I mean, actually, I do have kind of variations of these, but these are the two brightest ones. I think I'm going to hold on to these two for now because I like them, and I actually already got rid of 4 blushes, which is more than I thought, and 2 of my blushes are moving out to my highlighters or being declutter, so that is 6 out from this declutter. So to sum up, like I said, I'm getting rid of 4 blushes. We have them right here. So we have the body blush from Physicians Formula in the shade Plum Rose. Then we have the Milani Luminoso blush. We also have 2 NARS blushes. We have the Orgasm blush full size, and then we have the mini in gold. Those are all getting decluttered. And then going into my pan pile, we have 3 blushes. We have 2 Max Factor blushes. This one is in Lovely Pink. And then this one is in Gorgeous Berries. Both of them I am putting in my pan pile. And then lastly, we have this NARS blush and also in my pan pile, which is Broken Packaging, but that's the shade Deep Throat. Love this blush, but it's just a shame that the packaging broke, so I think it's time to use this one up. And then, like I said, these 2 here are going to my highlighters, or like I'm going to try them out and see, but otherwise these are going to my highlighters. And lastly, this is all I'm keeping, so let me count these up. So we have 23 blushes staying in my collection. Obviously, granted that 3 of these are in my pan pile as well, so what's that, 26 blushes, and I'm getting rid of 4. So, you know, not the absolute best, but I'm really, really happy with that. I didn't expect to get rid of like a lot. Like I said, I already did a massive declutter of my blushes earlier this year. So 4 is really, really good. I honestly didn't expect to get rid of any of my NARS blushes. And honestly, like these 2 as well, wasn't really expecting. So I'm really happy with this result. And that is it for my blush declutter. So this isn't the most like exciting declutter. I'm only getting rid of these 6 items right here, but you know, I'm very happy with that. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I didn't expect to do a massive declutter today. This is not going to be my best declutter. I think tomorrow I'm going to declutter a few more things, and then the one after as well. Those 2 are probably going to be a few more items than 6. But this is also, like I said, a good way to get a better insight into my collection, as well as to see what I decided to pan next year, because I do pick those out as well in this video. So we have these 3 here. But I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will catch you in my next declutter video tomorrow. Bye guys!